Hello, good morning. It's just coming up to about 4:45 on Thursday the 5th of May, and I'm just about to set off on my second attempt at a 400-kilometre DIY this year. You can see the skies becoming blue behind me. That's the direction I'm heading in. Just a quick brief bit about this route. It's in two parts. Today's part is a 300-kilometre ride north-east eastwards to Buckingham Old Gaol. Then I'll head back parallel to that, coming back to my house here in Bath tonight. Hopefully grab a shower, change of clothes, some hot food, ideally 90 minutes sleep, and then I'll be setting off northwestwards to do a 100-kilometre circuit through the Vale of Berkeley. The idea of the route is I'll be stopping at Buckingham, right outside the famous old jail. Is now a museum, and then on the night section I'll be passing Lay Hill Open Prison. That actually is a currently used prison, so you'll get the idea of the theme. Not too much vlogging today, I just want to concentrate on finishing this one after the DNF 2 weeks ago. So I'll speak to you halfway today at Buckingham. See you there. Now, and I just realised I forgot to do an update at Buckingham. I came up through Oxford. I got a little bit diverted there because there were some roadworks, and the route I used to take has been changed slightly. So I went over the river one side, rode along it, got some friendly advice on where the nearest bridge was, came back across it, there's some dogs right in front of me. And then coming into Buckingham, I was aiming to get there for 1 PM. That would have been quite good progress. Got to Railway Bridge, it said closed. Tried to get through, but it just wasn't rideable. I couldn't even walk, they wouldn't let me walk, so I made the mistake of saying, how far is the diversion? They said, oh, quite a way. Actually, it wasn't that bad at all. It's about 3 or 4 miles, and it's like 3 sides of a square, so it probably wasn't even an extra 3 miles. It was probably 2 possibly, but mentally you're not sure what you're doing, and I was sort of thinking, oh, I'm going to get behind schedule, possibly lose my sleep, stop. But actually, it wasn't too bad at all. Stopped at Buckingham, lovely and sunny there, had sausage and chips. Now I'm heading back towards, well, it's around the outskirts of Bicester, and then into the Cotswolds, Burford, sort of late afternoon. It's a bit of a climb out of Burford, but not much. And then you're sort of like on this flat plateau. You sort of think the Cotswolds, it'd be up and down, but it's not. You actually climb up, and it's fairly fast along there actually. Hoping to get home 10:30, 11, something like that. At the moment it's predicting me about 10:15, but I think I'm going to be riding into a headwind this afternoon. Not much, but a bit of one, so we'll see. But hopefully a little bit of sleep when I get home. Anyway, onwards. I'll talk to you when I get back to Bath. It's now 1:15 AM on Friday, day 2. So I finished my 300-kilometre section of this ride about 11 PM last night. Have to say, on the ride back from Buckingham, most of it was easy, but the section from the outskirts of Bicester to Burford was quite hard actually. There's a long stretch of main road, it's bumpy, undulating, a lot of traffic. It's quite hot by then. Then after you pass through Witney, it's quite up and down through the Cotswolds, and very poor road surfaces. I got to Burford quite shattered. I stopped and had a snack there, picked up some water, and then the late afternoon, early evening section was actually quite easy. Although it comes through the Cotswolds, you climb up onto a plateau and you just seem to stay up there most of the back to the outskirts of Cirencester, past the time trial on the main road.
and got back here about 11 p.m. last night in the dark. Actually didn't feel too bad. Had everything ready there, all my charging devices, plugs, things like that. So just everything's all charged this morning. So literally I've just got to put things in the back of the saddlebag and I'll be off. So now I'm off to do that leg. It looks like a balloon on a rope. Go up to Frampton Cotterell, that's like the string, the rope. And then there's a big, anti-clockwise circuit, that would be the balloon, back to Frampton Cotterell. And then back here now, mostly flat, there's a couple of hills on it, so let's get going. I'm all wrapped up. Fresh change of clothes, had a shower last night, lasagna when I got back. Cleaned my teeth this morning, got a fresh change of clothes, warm clothes, so yeah, 5 minutes, not be on my way. Just coming up to 4:30 in the morning on Friday now, 4:27 to be precise. I've just stopped in the lovely wooden bus shelter. It's a favourite haunt of mine at a hill in the Vale of Bartley. So I did a direction change about 5 miles ago. I was heading north, I'm now sort of heading south and basically heading back towards home on 223.5 miles at the moment. If the ride had gone to plan, that'd be another 25 miles, but because of those two deviations I took yesterday, I think it's going to be up to about 503, something like that, so an extra 5 miles. I'll check in a minute and see what the distance is, but I've got 4:30. I got 4.5 hours to do in effect 30 miles, so as long as I don't fall to pieces, I should be okay. One of the things about stopping and sleeping on 400s is I don't want to get home in the early hours of the morning anyway. My wife's very considerate, but I don't really want to be disturbing her sleep any more than I already have done. Just going to have a ham sandwich here, actually. It just feels like some proper food now. Just had a bar of chocolate about 10 minutes ago. When I first woke up, I actually set the alarm for 1 a.m. and I woke up, I don't know what time it was, went to the loo, came back, just thought I might as well try and get a few more minutes, shall I? And the alarm went off, so I must have completed one full sleep cycle. And once I realised I had to get up 2 or 3 minutes and I was okay. And the first thought is, oh no, have I got to go back out again? But I just use commitment, I sort of think, oh, look what you stand to lose. Yesterday was quite challenging at times. You did 300 kilometres. That'd all be wasted if you didn't just get up now and do what in effect is an easy 100 kilometre circuit. So yeah, commitment's quite a strong driver really. You sort of think about it. Once we commit to something, we don't like to sort of be seen to deviate, do we? Especially with strong political opinions, people quite often tie themselves up in knots really by refusing to backtrack from their original statements and thoughts. So yeah, it's quite a strong driver. I try and use that to my advantage on rides. The other big thing is, I mentioned Wendy Wood's book recently. She's like the world expert on habits. There's plenty of books out there on habits, but I mean, getting it from the horse's mouth, they quite often cite her research. So in her book, Good Habits, Bad Habits, one of the things she says, so I remember reading this, if you only take one thing away from this book, understand what friction is. And a good example was last night, when I got home, the last thing I really wanted to do was just plug everything in, get all my clothes ready, prepare food for this morning. But I just did all that because when I did wake up at 1 o'clock, as I sort of said, I had a slight moment of hesitation, like, oh, do I really want to go out again? I just knew downstairs everything was ready. All I had to do literally was just unplug some of the wires, put the Garmin back on the bike, leave the front door. Within 5 minutes I was ready to go. So that's a case of removing friction for a good habit. I mean, an example she gives, you can add friction to try and stop bad habits. A classic example would be, one of these people that get up in the middle of the night to go to the loo and check their mobile phones, just don't have it in the same room, put it in a different room, even switch it off. So just checking your phone's just not easy, is it? It would be awkward. You'd have to go to another room, you'd have to switch it on, wait a few minutes, you know. So yeah, that's another big tip I've learned from somebody else. Try and use friction to your advantage. Remove it, in my case, by getting everything ready, and add it if there's sort of things you want to try and change. Bad habits. Anyway, have my sandwich, 10 minutes and I'll be on my way. If I pan round, you may well see, look, over in the east, it's starting to get light already, and the start of the dawn chorus has started. There's birds in the trees singing everywhere. Another hour and it's going to be light. There we are, the 400-kilometre mark. Got about another quarter of a mile to go to my house, so that'll just tip it over into 253. It's coming up to 7:30 and my cut-off time for this ride was 09:02, so I've got 90 minutes in hand, which is absolutely fantastic. Can't say I really enjoyed this ride. It just felt one I had to sort of like put right after that DNF 400 the other week. In fact, that other one, the one where I did have the problems, I actually really enjoyed that. This just felt like almost like a bit of a burden, really. I wouldn't say I disliked it, but it's not been my favourite ride, that's for sure. Anyway, if I post this and if you've got this far, thanks very much for watching, and see you next time. Got some hopefully exciting little tours coming up in the next month or so. Really looking forward to that.